The old man was ready for sleep and about to blow out the candle for the night. Thousands of images kept haunting him, keeping him awake, forcing him to write. For this was an incredible tale that must not be forgotten. A tale from many years ago. A tale that might astound or confuse some, perhaps even the sage minds of old. A beautiful heroine, her unlikely lovers, the fates that guided their plight. Pirates and passion, murder, deception, even treasure and delight. An amazing adventure and a love so powerful and for the time incredibly bold that many would never believe it so. Hence the story must be remembered and told. Alas, she was a feisty thing, eyes of green and wild flaming red hair, but she appeared to be battle-weary, the lines on her young face clearly there. Her beauty was well disguised under a mask of hardness for all to see, but as he looked at her, he saw beneath the veil and was happy to be her enlistee. For whatever reason, he absolutely knew he had to get to know her better, an all-consuming entire ship, which made Alexander question for the very first time if she was in the tyrant's grip. A voice in his ear whispered, "Best leave her alone, for she's the captain's wife, and ye best keep ye distance," the voice continued, "if ye value your life." And as quickly as he appeared, the man who was there the next minute was gone. Suddenly the two men standing watch quickly approached and ushered Rozene away. "It's our job to protect you, madam, and there could be more violence today." The guards knew there were great rumblings from the belly of the beast. Captain Peck had overstayed his welcome, and many thought it was time his command ceased, for he wasn't the kindest of men, and the crewmen had pretty much all they could stand. It was highly likely there would be a mutiny before the ship reached land. So tomorrow it would begin. At the break of dawn, with swords drawn, the crew made their way up to the cabin deck. One of Peck's officers screamed, "Mutiny!" as he felt the cutlass pierce his neck. And Captain Peck's crew stormed the great ship like a pack of ravenous lions, clashing swords and a blood-stained deck as they lashed out in utter defiance. And as the fighting continued, they never noticed the approach of Jacinto's ship, when suddenly cannon blasts roared, causing the vanguard to shudder and tip. They scurried to the decks below. If it's a fight they want, then a fight they'll get. They loaded up the cannons, put aside their differences to answer the sudden threat. Another blast was heard as the chain shot shattered the vanguard's rigging. The battle was... Rozene was on the beach for less than a minute, her toes buried deep in the sand. She was laughing and frolicking about, and finally a real smile he witnessed firsthand. "Come and dance with me," she said, as she boldly took the lead. As he joined her in their first dance together, he wondered, did her intentions mislead? "Tell me more about you," Alexander said. "And what is that you'd like to know?" "Everything I can," he replied, "for I..." Jacinto yelled to the captain from the port side, "You know what I've come for, Peck. Just bring her to me and I'll let you flee, or else take your chances with that wreck." "How many times must I continue to tell you," Peck with anger said. "Rozene is not here. I'm afraid she fell overboard and is quite probably dead." "Your Rozene is my Lady Rain, and is much stronger than you could ever know. And I think you're hiding her from me. Why else won't you let me board and look below?" "Many lives have been lost for a woman who is not here," Captain Peck replied. "I know you, Jacinto. You've had it in for me ever since I took the love that you were denied." "My boy," with even a deeper voice Jacinto spoke, "what you say..." The moon was half as big as the sun, illuminating the face that tossed and turned. A quiet battle raged within her over why this man would eventually be burned. She could feel her control being slowly eroded by a man most unlike she had ever known. Too bad, Rozene thought, that a man so gentle and nice will fall, for the seeds were long ago sown. "So I see in it be a pirate trial for old Captain Peck. Guess I be seating the isle," Jacinto said, trying to keep his headache and temper in check. And all the eyes were transfixed upon Peck and the crew as they entered the court. Now he was wishing he was 1,000 miles away from this port. The tables were full, and Edward loomed over all from the bar, making his presence somewhat intimidating and his pirate courtroom rather bizarre. He seemed rather annoyed, which worried both Peck and his crew, for a pirate of Edward's status certainly had more important things to do. Edward's cantankerous voice echoed throughout the room.
"What have ye to say, scallywag? You're not a pirate, that we can presume."
"I've told you before that I'm merely a landlubber," Peck replied, "and these here are my friends. We've got nothing to hide." Edward leaned over and gave Peck a cold, hard stare.
"Culver, so ye say? Well, I be thinking we be clear in the air.